Hi, thanks for joining our latest expert update at Upwave. We're going to get started in about 90 seconds. Hi, this is Ken Archer with Upwave. We're going to get started in about 60 seconds on the latest expert updates going beyond age and gender with OnTarget Profiles and Reach. Hi, this is Ken Archer. I'm the SVP of Product here at Upwave, and it's time to get started with the latest expert updates from Upwave, where today we're going to be announcing the launch and demoing an exciting new feature called OnTarget Profiles and Reach. So now in one platform, media companies and brands using Upwave will be looking at full funnel lift, optimization recommendations, portfolio analytics, but now also reach and profile data. And what's unique about it is that it goes beyond age and gender. So we're going to go into some detail in the world of reach, which has been a really hot topic in the last couple of months. So this will also serve as sort of an explainer on the issues around reach measurements, which can get heady as well. So with that, let's get started. So this expert update is for you if you run multi-channel brand campaigns that require advanced targeting of increasingly nuanced audiences in order to drive impact. So one of the largest trends in media over the last year and a half has been the fragmentation of TV across addressable, but in particular connected TV, streaming television. This has more or less broken legacy approaches to reach measurement that are based on opt-in intrusive panels that have been heavily skewed in their usage of CTV. But in addition, the use of connected TV has led to targeting opportunities around television advertising that were unimaginable before. And with greater targeting accuracy in connected TV comes greater demands for measurement, that reach measurement go beyond age and gender. So if you are involved in TV multi-channel campaigns, then this is for you. This is also for you if you need to understand both the accuracy and scale of your campaign's targeting. So brand campaigns usually measure the lift of the campaign in terms of brand lift in attitudes towards the brand, like awareness, consideration, purchase intent, favorability. But perhaps the number one source of frustration with brand lift measurement is that it doesn't match up with brand trackers, that you're also measuring these same brand attitudes longitudinally in a brand tracker, and brand trackers are notoriously flat. So how is it that you can experience brand lift of 5 or 10% every quarter, and yet brand trackers are flat? The answer is lying in reach data, and specifically penetration, that when campaigns don't sufficiently penetrate their target audience, those people in their target audience who are not reached are experiencing brand decay, which offsets the brand lift of the reached audience. And so in order to drive brand campaigns towards real effectiveness, which is reflected in brand trackers that are going up, but also it's reflected in generating demand that can then be activated by direct response campaigns, it's critical to optimize towards two outcomes, not one, towards both lift and reach and penetration of your target audience. With this update from Upwave, Upwave brands are now set up to do both of those things. Finally, this expert update for you is for you if you're wondering how to reduce media waste and increase ROI for your brand advertising in 2022 and beyond. Obviously, getting leaner with how we manage media budgets is a top priority for brands and agencies right now. And identifying reach, not just at a broad level, but measuring reach and ensuring that you're reaching people within your target audience is one of the top techniques for doing that. So if you are one of these three folks, then sit tight and we're going to start talking more in depth about what Upwave is launching today. If you have any questions in the course of this webinar, you can submit them into the Q&A or into the chat and we'll address them afterwards. So TV and brand media are becoming increasingly complex as campaigns expand across a growing array of channels across connected TV, addressable, linear, online video. And TV marketers and brands, they need to connect with increasingly nuanced custom audiences, not just age and gender, to understand campaign ROI. So when TV campaigns were primarily linear, they could really only be targeted in terms of broad age and gender demographics. And so as a result, reach measurement was limited to age and gender. Well, now that targeting for TV campaigns can be much more granular, targeting brand-specific demographic and behavioral multidimensional target audiences. Well, then reach measurement needs to reflect that shift as well and ensure that campaigns are in fact reaching with minimal waste those target audiences. And with the optimization capabilities of connected TV, measurement needs to not just provide this information at the end of a campaign, but empower media companies, empower advertisers to shift budget towards CTV distributors, towards shows, genres, networks that are reaching their target audience. Legacy measurement platforms and fragmented targeting verification make this level of holistic analysis nearly impossible. And that's because the legacy platforms for measuring reach first are based on skewed opt-in panels that don't accurately reflect the usage of CTV. But second are divided between these different channels. So the legacy reach products that are out there is really a Frankenstein of different products. One product for linear, one product for connected TV, one product for addressable TV, and one product for online video, each with incompatible methodologies that are then basically pasted together. It's a really unsatisfying solution. And that's why Upwave's product development team has been hard at work on a better solution for the past year. So what does this new solution from Upwave look like? We are, with this launch today, addressing the needs for measurement of accuracy and scale. Accuracy answers the question, did my campaign reach the right audiences? And scale answers the question, was the reach significant enough to penetrate my target audience and drive market impact. So the first of these, accuracy, is addressed by a metric called OnTarget Profiles. And OnTarget Profiles displays the percentage of a campaign that is reaching a brand-specific target audience. That can be in terms of age and gender, but it can also be in terms of extended demographics, like household income, ethnicity, household size, or behavioral traits specific to that brand's target audience. Now, when you're providing accuracy data in terms of age and gender, you really just need to provide a percentage. But when you're providing accuracy data in terms for a more niche audience, a percentage is not enough. Because we know if, let's say, a campaign targeting men is 75% of the exposures are reaching men, we have a pretty good sense if that's good or bad. But if you have a niche audience, and say cat owners is an example we use a lot. It's kind of a canonical example for, say, a cat food brand. And let's say your campaign, 40% of the media is reaching cat owners. Well, is that good or bad? Well, in order to know, you need to know the census baseline. And so that's why Upwave dynamically generates a census baseline for every brand-specific target audience that shows up for every campaign, so that you can index your campaign's targeting accuracy and the targeting accuracy of specific media tactics, such as publishers or audiences, against your census baseline. So I'm going to show you what this looks like here. So this is Upwave's dashboard. You know Upwave for optimization recommendations and full funnel lift measurement. And what we're launching today is profiles and reach. So profile data, you see here is, you can look at it in terms of age and gender and compare your overall campaign to the census baseline. So you get absolute percentages, but also relative indices. But you can go deeper. So you can go into extended demographics, for example, household income. And our demographics are not limited to, this is just what's relevant to this particular brand. We can include any demographic and behavioral trait that is relevant in defining a particular brand's target audience. So for example, purchase role would be relevant. So in this case, the brand here is a fictitious laundry detergent brand called Flower Fresh that we use a lot. And so that someone is a primary purchaser for their household of laundry detergent is central to their target audience, obviously. But what percentage of the population at large falls into that target audience? Well, who knows? Well, Upwave can tell you it's 32.7%. And so you can see that overall, this campaign is actually performing no better than random at reaching this target audience. And so that's why you would then look at tactics, at TV tactics, online, digital media tactics like publisher, audience, to see. So in this case, we can look at the linear portion of a campaign to see which TV genres are indexing better in reaching this niche target audience. And then we can optimize budget, sorry about that, towards or away from different genres. You can do the same thing. Let's look at the digital portion of the campaign and look at publishers. So here we can see what publishers, what media partners are over-indexing or under-indexing and reaching the target audience. All right, so that's That's OnTarget Profiles. They're only available from Upwave, and they are being used right now by some of Upwave's largest brands to better understand who they're reaching. Now, understanding the accuracy of your targeting is one thing, but understanding your ability to target at scale is another thing, and that's where reach comes in. So with that, Upwave is also launching today OnTarget Reach. This is Upwave's latest innovation, and it answers the question of scale and penetration by calculating the percentage of the total target audience that a campaign has reached. So this is an industry-first metric that enables advertisers to better assess whether their campaign has both the accuracy and the scale to deliver meaningful impact within a target audience. So let's look at how this is calculated. To calculate OnTarget Reach, Upwave leverages its comprehensive audience response and machine learning platform to determine the following numbers. First, we find the total audience size. So again, here we're looking for a census baseline. To go beyond age and gender, again, you have to basically measure something outside of the campaign, which is the population at large. You have to measure in the population at large what is the baseline percentage and the number of people who fall within the target audience. So we're calculating the number of people who are, say, cat owners for a cat food brand, or the number of people who are the primary purchaser of household detergent for a laundry detergent brand. Second, we're calculating the campaign reach. And calculating reach has gotten incredibly more complicated with the fragmentation of media viewing patterns, particularly with the rise of connected TV. And so there's really just a small handful of measurement companies that have been up to the task of what seems like a simple activity, simply counting, but it's actually incredibly complicated due to the fragmentation of media consumption patterns. And Upwave is one of those measurement companies. So we're calculating the campaign reach. Then Upwave is looking at the on-target reach. How many individuals in the target audience were reached by the campaign? Now, other media platforms, they look at the campaign reach. They're looking at overall, and they may break it out by media partner, by channel, but they're people are people from their perspective. At most, they might break it out by age and gender. But as we discussed earlier, targeting has gone way beyond age and gender with the rise of connected TV, which has created a new central measurement challenge, which is to calculate reach on target. How many people within my brand specific target audience, not some generic audience of age and gender, but my brand specific target audience, how many of those people did I reach? So this on-target reach is then divided by the target audience size to determine penetration rate. And we are reporting all of these numbers in our dashboard. So let's take an example of a cat food brand targeting all cat owners. And say there's 100 million cat owners. The campaign reach is 20 million. That's what you would learn from other platforms. But we go further and we tell you that of the 20 million people reached by the campaign, 12 million are cat owners. So by dividing the 12 million cat owners reached by the 100 million cat owners total in the population, we can tell you that the on-target penetration for this campaign is 12%. You're not able to get this figure anywhere else. And this is such a critical figure because this tells you the real impact of your campaign. Because what's as important as the fact that 12% of your brand-specific target audience was reached is the fact that 88% of them were not reached and are experiencing brand decay. So this is how that really impacts the bottom line. So let's say you have two cat food brands running campaign A and campaign B. They drive the same lift, 2%. Campaign A appears to be wasting a lot less media. 60% of its exposures are to cat owners, whereas only 45% of the exposures of campaign B are to cat owners. Well, there's 100 million cat owners in the population as a whole, but campaign B is a campaign that's twice as large, 20 million. And so the OnTarget reach is 18 million in campaign B, which means they've penetrated 18% of their target audience. And so their impact with the exact same lift is going to be 50% higher than campaign A. So you see here, there's opportunities for greater efficiencies, but they're different. With campaign B, this brand has an opportunity to reduce its media waste. Whereas campaign A, it's clear to it that it's actually doing a good job with minimal waste in media spend. It has an opportunity to increase its penetration by increasing the spend. So that's why it's so critical to look at both penetration and profile, reach and profile, in order to understand the effectiveness of campaigns going forward and to optimize campaigns. So let's see what this looks like. All right. So again, we'll start with age and gender because that's sort of, you know, table stakes right now. And we're going to look at digital and linear TV, and we're also going to break it out by channel: addressable TV, connected TV, non-TV digital, and oh, sorry about that. So we looked at composition before, which is the profile. Now we have reach data. So you see this census baseline, the number of people in the population who have a particular demographic trait. 65 million people are 65 and older, for example. And then within each channel, you can see the number of people your campaign has reached in that target audience and the penetration rate, sorry. But critically, you can go beyond age and gender. So again, for this Flower Fresh fictitious brand, it cares about, let's say, household income. And so you can see the number of people in the country who are in different income brackets and the number of people you have reached in those income brackets and your penetration rate in those income brackets. But you can also look at brand-specific behavioral audiences. So purchase role. So we see that 111 million people are the primary purchasers of laundry detergent in their household. And we see the number of people that their campaign reached and their ability to penetrate, what percentage of that audience they have penetrated. Now let's bring up the channels here again. And then you can break it out by channel. Yeah. So you can see at a decomposed channel level, your ability to penetrate right now your brand specific target audience. All right. So key takeaways. It's more important than ever to not just count people, but to know who you're counting, right? Up until now, the focus has been counting people. There hasn't been a focus on knowing who we're counting, but with the targeting capabilities of connected TV, it's more important now to know who we're counting. OnTarget Profiles and OnTarget Reach work together across fragmented media channels to measure both accuracy and scale, so profiles and reach. And equipped with a holistic view of campaign performance, advertisers are able to truly determine campaign ROI and reduce media waste. One more thing before we go to Q&A. So these reach numbers that we showed you were focused on showing your penetration rate within your target audience. They were not incremental reach numbers, though. Incremental reach numbers give you visibility into which channels, as well as which media partners, audiences are reaching new audiences and which are reaching the same as other media tactics, other channels. Upwave will be introducing incremental reach early next year. And then this incremental reach, again, will be both overall, but also in terms of your brand specific target audience beyond age and gender. This will further enable advertisers to reduce media waste and enhance targeting effectiveness and scale. So with that, we'll go to Q&A. Let me just stop right up here while we're talking. And after this presentation, everyone who registered will get a recording of the presentation as well as a white paper written by our data science team on how this is calculated. So let me look at the Q&A. So we've got a couple questions. All right, how does Upwave Reach compare to reach provided by other measurement companies? So that's a great question. So reach from other measurement companies is primarily focused on the question of currencies. So buying and selling media, TV media, is based on currencies that use a measurement of reach. These currencies are at the overall level, at the best at the age and gender level. Upwave Reach is not focused on being a currency. So Nielsen and competitors to Nielsen, such as ComScore, VideoAmp, provide currencies, whereas Upwave provides analytic information that is useful for optimization and planning purposes. All right. The next question, do the total audiences for niche targets like cat owners come from the US Census, or is there another source? That's a great question. So it actually comes from the Upwave digital network. So Upwave, most of the data that you see in the Upwave dashboard comes from questionnaires administered during campaigns by Upwave to respondents on its digital network. And so in order to collect census baseline data, Upwave basically runs a parallel questionnaire during every campaign that is not focused on those exposed to the campaign or a control group of those who resemble the exposed group. Rather, this parallel questionnaire is a census representative questionnaire that is focused on identifying the census baseline for this particular brand's target audience. So that's how we are able to calculate reach and profile data at a census baseline level for any brand specific target audience without being limited to what we can get from the US Census or what we can get from a data company like Experian, like other measurement companies are. Great question. Next question is reach and penetration the same thing? Good question. So reach is a number of people. Penetration is a percentage. Penetration rate is the percentage of people within your target audience that you reached. Next question, isn't this available from Nielsen? So no. Nielsen provides reach data in terms of age and gender and has been struggling with fragmented methodologies by channel recently. So Upwave goes beyond the age and gender based data that Nielsen provides. All right, next question is, are you able to back into results post-campaign? So if the question is, are these results available post-campaign, the answer is yes. But this data is also available throughout the campaign. These reach and profile metrics are updated every night. And usually available starting the first week of the campaign for about 75% of campaigns. Next question is, will the presentation recording be made available to participants? Yes. The recording of the presentation, there's been a lot of interest in this. So this will be emailed to all registered participants, as will the white paper that our data science team put together. Next question, is this reach data available with all campaigns measured by Upwave? Yes. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay anything extra to get this. This is not an added SKU that we're charging for. This is, as I showed you, just another tab on our dashboard now that we've added. But it will be available out of the box for all campaigns measured by Upwave. All right, with that, I think we have answered all the questions. Really appreciate the interest. This was one of our most well-attended expert update webinars. We'll be doing another one in a couple weeks, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks.